Hello, 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 hello. How are you all doing? Welcome back to the show, guys. It's episode 10 of AKM Live, joined by Shauno again. He's back with me again
And
as usual. Stevie G's in the back as well.
Stevie G, the ghost of Stevie G. Woo.
He's back with us. Just a little bit of housekeeping for you guys before we get started on this show. This is live over on Twitch and YouTube. Go give us a follow on Twitch if you are not done so already and you've got a Twitch account. There would also be time codes in the description of this video going forward. I've figured out how to do chapters and stuff. So if you do miss the stream or you want to watch it for a certain bit, you could always just have a look at where you go up to in the chapters and everything and find out and scroll up to it. And it makes it a little bit easier for people to find the topics they want to listen to. Shauna, have you got anything you'd like to plug before we get started? SD Designs
2020 on Redbubble. I'm still awaiting to get my amazing print or canvas print of Wayne Henley. So was actually the ghost of Stevie G. And Jack Designs that UK, which is really, really good stuff there. So yeah, give them an old follow and whatever.
Yeah, they're down in the description below, guys. So I think today there's no other better place to start, Sean. The show is basically it's the 4th anniversary of us winning the Premier League. It's the first time I ever saw Liverpool win the league in my lifetime. I guess we'll probably just quickly touch on it. Obviously, like where you were, memories and stuff like what you've watched. You want to lead off, Sean?
So it was a really, really difficult year insofar as like obviously COVID happened. And obviously, there was a big break and there was a bit, massive question marks over whether the league was going to continue, whether it was going to be null and void. I don't think I've ever seen Liverpool play as well and play as dominant as they did that season. Everything just seemed to click together. And there, obviously, up until a couple of games, we were, looking to be not be defeated, which being invincible. And obviously, we didn't get that in the end. But who gives a fuck?
No.
I was at home when I think Chelsea were playing. Was it City? I think Chelsea were playing City, and Chelsea bet City, and then we won.
Yeah.
I remember watching that, and then obviously I remember being at home. There was a bottle of champagne. I had a little replica of the Premier League title, and I did the little Henderson shuffle. And I was just over the moon. I mean, there was definitely tears without a doubt. Originally, I was looking to try and get over to Anfield before the whole pandemic, and it was just incredible, man. Just incredible. It was an amazing team.
Nah, yeah. I think for me, my first real memory of it all and everything like that was I can't remember if it was 2 separate nights really when it happened. Like, did Chelsea play the night before we do against City for us to win the league? I can't remember exactly now what happened, but I remember being sat upstairs, and the news came through that they'd beaten City or whatever, and we'd won the league, and I was just sat there in bed, just like, oh my god. And I was on FaceTime to like my girlfriend and that because with the COVID and lockdown and everything like that. And she was like, "What's up?" And I was just like, Liverpool just won the league.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never witnessed this. I've never experienced it or anything like that. And then yeah, I remember when they lifted the trophy. Me, my mum, and my stepdad was in the living room downstairs watching that game and watched them lift the trophy and everything like that. And yeah, watching my mum just turn around going, "Uzi, I didn't know he played for Liverpool. Never seen him before in my life."
But the funny thing was like obviously it wasn't in front of the fans but I think Liverpool did an amazing job of making it so special. I mean, we'll always remember, Henderson getting the trophy, in the Kop, which I mean is unheard of. It's usually on the pitch, you know, normal circumstances. And in a way, it was kind of like poignant, or not poignant. It was kind of, you know, it made sense in the Kop, you know, the heart of where the fans are, mostly the home fans. And it was just amazing. And I mean, even the fireworks and everything else that, you know, that went off in the end, when everyone was told, you know, whatever. He's honest to God. He is honest to gold.
Every week.
Every week. I mean, it's like he's just swallowed like a dictionary of comedic jokes or whatever. But no, honest to God, it was an amazing time. And like, I mean, the rival fans going on, well, there should be an asterisk behind. Well, no, there shouldn't have been. We won that fair and square.
Yeah, 100%.
And like, I designed some fantastic cups, and I had like Klopp holding the Premier League with Henderson, and then I had the 2 meters, as in 2 meters distance, you know, for the whole COVID thing. And that's, you know, that's still selling, I won't lie to you. But I also have a little pin here of this is from Red Kop TV, and it's a little pin of Henderson holding up the Premier League. So, you know, just an amazing time, you know, amazing for the Liverpool fans, and yeah, just incredible. So hopefully we won't be waiting 30 fucking years for the next title. That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
No, hopefully not at all. I think what I'll go into next then, Sean, I want to do this, I think, until we get some contracts signed. I want to get a gut check off you for like where you are at with the current contract situation. So obviously we've got Trent, Salah and Van Dijk all entering. Well, this is basically the last window where Liverpool will be able to get any money for them if there was going to move them on. Not saying I would like them to, but if Liverpool was going to try and get something back for them, this is the last opportunity to do so, because obviously they can sign for other clubs for nothing abroad from January the 1st. So where you at, Sean, or where you at with the three of them? I don't know which order you want to do it in, but whichever you feel like, just, you know, where are you at with them?
I think, I mean, you know, there's talks of Diaz as well, leaving, as well as Salah and Van Dijk and Trent. I think out of the 3 or 4 that I've mentioned there, you're probably likely to see Diaz or Salah leave. But I just find it, I'm baffled as to why it's been taking so long to set up. You know, I know that contract negotiations are always difficult and what have you, but we always seem to have difficulty in, you know, we've lost, you know, a few good players on the free, Genie being one of them. Firmino. And then obviously Mane leaving when he did, probably a bit prematurely, I don't know. That's up for everyone else to decide. But we just seem to be very lackadaisy when it comes to this, and I don't think that's good business. You know, we've been told that we're shrewd business people. We don't do things in public, and fair enough, but it's quite scary, you know, 4 weeks left into the, you know, the first game of the season, and we haven't sorted out, you know, any of these contracts. But I'd like to think Trent is staying. I can't see Trent leaving. Van Dijk, I can't really see him leaving. But I mean, they really need something seriously would have to happen in order for those two to leave. But I think if you were to say, well, Sean, right, pick one that's going to leave, it could be Salah.
Okay, you reckon Salah might go this window? All right. So for me, then, just touching on a few things you mean. Is it gone?
Yeah, I thought you were in deep thought, and then
all right, no.
Passed out.
No, just touch on a few things that you just mentioned then regarding like Mane and that. I think letting him go when he did was a little bit down to the player. Also, I think if I remember correctly at the time, he was annoyed that all the hullabaloo was made about Salah's new contract and not his own, because they were both in the same contract situation. So I think that I think he felt a little bit pushed out, and that's why I wanted to go, because I think he always felt like ever since Salah basically came and became the main man. Wijnaldum, I could never get my head around that. I think he was probably one of our best midfielders under Jurgen Klopp during his whole time there. I think he was very unvalued and underrated by the fans a lot, especially. So yeah, he was one of my best players. I'm not gonna lie, when he played for us, I really liked Wijnaldum. But yeah, sticking to these three now. I was 100% certain that Trent was going to sign a new deal. But then it dropped down. It dropped down at 75%. I was kind of like, oh, maybe not.
I saw that. Yeah.
I've seen some quotes today from Trent, and it kind of pushed me back up again to like 90% certain that he's going to stay. Where basically he said something along the lines of, I can't find them now. I looked before we went live, guys, but it was something along the lines of, he's excited to get back to Liverpool. It's an exciting opportunity to start playing under a new manager, something along them lines, and he just can't wait to get to training pre-season and set a good base and good foundation for a good season ahead. Basically, somewhat along them lines is what he said. So I think we'll see Trent stay. Van Dijk, I reckon it depends on the length of the contract that he wants. I reckon the club will offer him probably a 2-year extension, but I've got a funny feeling he might want 3-year or 4-year, just because of that security. Do you know what I mean? Of where he's going to be long term potentially. And Salah, I would be surprised if he signed a new deal going by what's been put out there. Reduced terms, reduced this, taking that off him, blah, 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 blah. If all that's legit and he could go to Saudi next season for nothing and bag a lot of money, and the lifestyle and everything, like, you know, the what's the word I'm looking for?
Money.
The community and everything like that. I reckon Salah's going. This is Salah's last season. I really do. I believe that. What's up?
Muscusi says, I think Bellingham has tongue punched Trent's eardrums.
Well, did you see the stuff that was it Lewis Dunk was saying, or something like that, something along them lines? But there was a player that went to, when it was either oh no, it wasn't. Was it Ben Foster or something? There was a player that went to the where did he go? He went to one at tournaments and basically said something along the lines of that Trent and Henderson were constantly badgering Bellingham the season before he came to what is it? He went to Real Madrid, sorry. They were absolutely just proper badgering him, and they were sat either side of him. Everyone would be sat down for dinner and everything like that, and they'd be talking, and then they'd just be like, Liverpool this, Klopp this, blah, 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 and everything like that. So I do think that was the case. But again, it didn't happen in the end. We didn't get Belling, so yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, Salah, I think, is the most likely to go. Van Dijk, I think, will be based on the length of the contract. For the contract, and I do think that I think Trent's 90% certain to stay. I think, and I think as well he'll get a decent whackle, Trent. I think he'll be like one of Liverpool's highest paid players.
Let me paint you a scenario, Adam.
Go on.
So, as you know, Mane kind of left, but we kind of always had this feeling that Mane left to cater for Salah's contract. Can you see that happening with Diaz?
Maybe if the right offer came in, I guess maybe. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, to save some bit of money, I think you could risk losing someone on that side because you've got Gakpo, Jota, and other players that can play there. So yeah, potentially. Hold on, I've got Martin here. Put him in. There he is, Martin.
Honestly, God. Johnny,
I've got calls on John.
Evening, Miss Goosey. Evening, Doug. Hope you're doing well. We've just got a question here, guys, as well. It says, do you think the bid for 25 million for Inacio is true? No, I don't believe that's true. I think it'd be more than that. How you doing, Martin? You all right?
Yeah, not so bad, mate. Not so bad. Is that late? All right, or?
No, it's fine. Fine with me. Is it all right for you, Shana?
I can see perfectly. Yeah.
We were just finishing off then about what we think is going to happen with the 3 people of the contracts. What do you reckon?
With Trent,
Salah and Van Dijk.
I reckon Trent's gone, mate.
Yeah.
Trent, really?
Yeah, I do. I think Van Dijk, I reckon he's going to sign, and I think Salah's going to sign as well.
Would you? All right, then let's play that scenario out. Are you happy with that? Trent goes, Salah stays, and Van Dijk stays.
No.
You're happy with that?
No.
What about guys in the chat? Let us know. Are you happy with that?
Off the 3, Martin, who would you prefer to go? If you had to choose 2 and 1 go, who would you tell to see you later?
1 second, I'll answer that in a sec. I've just got Gemma's just shouting me and gone.
Gemma, for the love of God.
What's my school say? My real name is Martin Sue, so I feel bound already.
Musco's real name is Martin.
But all right, then that's an interesting thing he's brought up there. What do you reckon? What do you reckon with? Oh, he's back again. I'll let him finish off. Go on then, Martin.
Sorry, what was the question again, mate? Because she just wins. How long's the stink been in the shed for?
So the question is, out of the 3 players that we're talking about contracts, who, if you could keep 2 and say goodbye to 1, which one would you say goodbye to, and why?
Right, okay. That's a tough question because I've got my differences on all of them. But
okay,
I would have to say goodbye to Salah.
Okay.
Because he's coming to the end of his contract. I think we've had his best years now. And we need to, if we can get over 100 for him, you've got to snatch his hand off now.
Yeah.
Because he's becoming injured. He's getting injured and he's not doing, like the question was with Van Dijk, you said, oh, that is 80%. That could be his 100 now, like we spoke about last week. I don't think Salah's at the 100 no more as well. But I do. I want Trent and I want Van Dijk, even though I'd just get rid of whoever. They niggle on me. But we need to keep a strong back. We've got plenty going forward. We can't interchange defence because it's like Fred won't know what Billy's going to do. You know what I mean? Where Trent, Robbo, Kante, and well, all of them really all know each other's game. You know how to. If Van Dijk was pressing upfield or Arnold was going upfield, they know when to go and cover them. You bring someone else in, you've got a hole at the back.
Yeah, there's a few centre backs we're going to cover off later on. Actually, that's been linked to us over this past couple of days.
Hey, that's like the general conversation, isn't it? You know, see.
I think, to be fair, I think I'm with you though. I think I would probably get rid of Salah as well. Let me say, someone else mentioned something there. Like, I think, yeah, he said that he would keep Trent and Van Dijk and bin Salah. I'm along the same lines as you there, Dave. With that, Scusi, tough question, but if we can get money for Salah, I'd agree with my namesake. Yeah, Bordeaux's back on. You DM'd me. I'll have a look at it in a minute, mate. So I would, as you say, I think I would bin Salah out of the 3 of them. Well, bin's probably a bit of a harsh word, but yeah, I would get rid of Salah. Because Trent's your future captain, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%.
Van Dijk as well. You need centre backs can play a lot longer than most people can in their position. So I think even though Van Dijk's probably like 32, 33, as long as he stays injury free, he could probably play for another 3 or 4 years. I think Van Dijk at the top level.
I think there's a point made there that all 3 will stay and then leave for free this summer. I think if all 3 are to leave or to stay, they would have to sign a contract. So I think it all depends on whether they sign a contract or not. If they don't, I think they'd be told, well, right, you leave. You leave now.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think. Or what they could do is they could sign a contract so that the club will get money.
I think Trent's nose has been turned.
by Bellingham.
I don't know. Someone's got in his ear. Because if you remember, when he was younger, his last contract, he had no issues in signing that. It was done. He didn't even have to speak about it. It was already done. Why is it being publicised now? Are Liverpool wanting to sell him? FSG wanting to sell him? Is that why they're going on about all this? You know, like that's like what's his name? Can't even think of his name. Diaz. Why would you ask for this? Why would you drop so much money and then push it all out? Are they asking for that? Do they want people to come in for him?
Yeah, that's what I said in that video. They want it like where his asking price was like 100 and something at the beginning, and now they've dropped it down to 75 million. That's a bit of a
yeah.
But are they asking for 75 because they want to go for him at Newcastle, or?
I think so.
You reckon?
I think Anthony Gordon's not dead yet. I think that could still potentially happen.
Yeah. It's like I seen something on one of the groups the other day. Can't remember what it was, and I went, "You're joking, aren't you?" So that if you seen who our owners are, I said, "We're shopping at Aldi."
I think you've segued us pretty goodly into the transfer thing there. What we want to talk about next, Martin.
Yeah, I'm on fire tonight.
You've done well there, lad. You've done well there.
Well done, Martin. Well done.
It's because of where I've been today. Obviously, I can't say where I've been, but you know.
But yeah, I think what I'll do first, then I reckon, is let's just go over the stuff that's come out over the past few days. I've got my little sheets ready as always, and then
book,
and then we'll probably get. I know that you've got something you want to say, Sean, regarding what's going on with the whole situation right now. So we'll touch on that afterwards. All right. So first, guys, the first video I did was about Mohamed Simakan. Now, he's a centre back, can play right back at Leipzig. He's 24 years of age. Apparently, he's got a release clause for about 60-70 million pounds. But there was a German journalist that came out the other day and said that Liverpool could probably get him for like 40 if they wanted to, because Leipzig could probably sell him. 42 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists, no injuries. So again, the joke is that he'll be injured as soon as he comes to us. 12 yellow cards, no reds, but his contract doesn't expire for another 3 years. And then his percentiles are just at the bottom, guys. So he's 72.4 for passes, 48.2% for forward passes, progressive passes, 53.3, defensive actions, 61.2 defensive duels. He wins just about over half of them. He wins 0.75% of his aerial duels. He runs forward with the ball a lot more than he does sit back with it. And he played 2,276 minutes last year. Any thoughts on him, guys? Anything like that? So for me, off that, he sounds like a bit of a Matip, but not as good as a Matip at the same time. I don't know.
Can I just answer before Sean? Because Sean will go into this, because I don't really know about that kid, but I just want you to look at one thing and look over previous years. Look at the team. Liverpool, to me, seem to be going to them a lot for players.
Leipzig, yeah.
It's like Liverpool's feeder team now.
We got Szoboszlai last year. We got Keita. We almost got Timo Werner back in there. Who else was there?
We've had a lot of players from that team.
Just Red Bull in general as well, didn't we? We got is it Minamino from Salzburg? Red Bull Salzburg. We got him from there, didn't we? Mane played for Salzburg as well, didn't he, at one point? So
there is. Have we got any? Sorry, Sean, I know you want to answer this. Have we got any players? Well, that team got any players with that agency?
Not many, no.
Right, okay. Sorry, go on, Sean. I'll let you answer now, mate. I just wanted to go on about the team, and Liverpool like to do business with that team.
I don't really have much to say. I mean, I can understand why we would need someone as a centre back, not a right back, because we've obviously got Bradley and Trent. But then that all depends on where they're going to put Trent. Are they going to play him in midfield, or are they going to have him right back and then kind of drift into midfield? You know, when he's playing. We do need a centre back without a doubt, and then obviously we need to look at, if we're getting rid of Tsimikas, we need to get a left back. I don't really know too much about the kid, whether he's a good player or whether, you know, he's potential or whether he can hit the ground running. That's always my concern about these players. You know, we can talk about potential, but really what we need is a player that learns fast, is quick on their feet, and you know, adapts to the play of football. And if he doesn't, he's not much use to us. There's no point in having, like, you know, God be with the days when you talked about a 5-year plan. Players' careers are short and sweet. They don't want to talk about 5-year plan, especially if a manager goes. They don't want to talk about a 5-year plan. They want to talk about, you know, getting success now, winning cups, winning trophies now. So I don't know too much about him, to be honest with you, Adam.
Now, to me, he looks pretty fast. Martin's back again. Hold on a moment. He looks fast from like the tape that you see of him, but he does also look a little bit lightweight as well. Like, I don't know, like he looks to me like a bit of a shorter Matip, where he runs with the ball and everything. Just catch up on some of these comments here, like a big country never let players go free.
Because I can't really get them up on my thing when I'm talking to you.
Evening, Johnny.
And I pressed the wrong button.
If we sign Fring Pomtrent, moving to midfield, yeah, I agree with that. So then, yeah, that's the Simican lad. I don't think there's anything in that. Personally, I really don't. But then we were linked with another centre-back in the Bundesliga, whose name, Sean, you might have to try and pronounce it, because I've got no chance of trying to pronounce this name whatsoever.
Dylan Cosanonu.
Yeah. So
this lad... no from me, no.
So this lad's Bayer Leverkusen. He's 23, so he's a bit younger than the lad we've just been talking about. Centre back, right back, and DM. He played last year. Again, his valuation's around about the 40 million mark. 34 appearances, 1 goal. He was at the AFCON. That's why his appearances are a little bit lower than the other lad. He had no injuries all last year, so again, he'll be injured as soon as he comes straight to us. 4 yellow cards all season, and his contract expires in 2 years' time, so a bit of a shorter contract than the other lad. Again, if you look at the percentiles at the bottom, this lad's better at passing, he's forward passing, he's better at his progressive passes, he's not as good at defensive actions or defense. He's better at defensive duels as well. He's a bit weaker in the air, but again, his progressive carries, where basically he runs forward with the ball, is pretty high for a centre back. It's nearly almost 100%, and he only played 1,977 minutes, so he's a little bit less on the minutes in the season for his club, but obviously he was at the AFCON, and obviously when he wasn't playing, Leverkusen went pretty much unbeaten all season. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? And is it for him? I don't know. I can't really make out if they'd have conceded a few more goals if this lad were playing. But
Casono, that's what Igor's Uncle Dave says. Casono.
All right, Dave. All right,
Dave.
But yeah, go on then. Anything on that lad, Shauno? I think you had a...
well, as Copite says, I'd prefer Anasio.
Yeah. What about you, Martin?
See, I can't comment on him because I don't know, because I don't really get a chance to keep up with things in the week.
Mm-hmm.
I just come on here just a little general chit chat. That's it.
Yeah. Cool.
But it's always good to have extra depth and squad where needed, and not like 15,000 people in midfield. Yeah.
The one thing that worries me about these two players, though, is they're both right-footed, and they both seem to be playing in the same position as Kanate and Quanta right now, and Joe Gomez. Do we really need someone else to play there? We need someone to go out on the left-hand side of the centre-back, which leads me to the last person I'm going to talk about in regards to all of this, which is Inacio. So,
I know him.
Again, I think we touched on this last stream. I've not even updated this since the last time we spoke about him, but he's from Sporting, 22 years of age. He can play DM in centre mid, left-footed centre back. He's got a release clause of £60 million. It previously was 38.5 million. Man United were also said to be interested in this lad. 49 games last year, 4 goals, 1 assist. He had 2 thigh injuries last year, so he missed 2 games. 9 yellows, no reds, and his contract expires in 2027. He signed that new deal last year, where Liverpool, it was linked to Liverpool heavily again last year. We didn't get him at that cheaper price. He signed a new contract with a bigger release clause now in it. Again, He's very much similar to the Kosanunu guy we just spoke about in regards to his passing and his forward passes and everything like that. Aerial duels. He looks pretty much bang on the same type of player as that lad that we've just spoke about in the percentiles of everything. This time last week, this is the chitter chatter we had from the journos. Sorry, guys, I didn't change the writing or anything like this, but basically they were saying that he's a priority for Liverpool. He's got a 60 million release clause. It's all over the Portuguese media over there that Liverpool are interested in him. It remains to be seen where he will end up. And they did name a few other players that Liverpool could be looking at the centre-back as well as Jean-Claude Torbido, who I think's just signed for Juve or is on the verge of signing for Juve or AC Milan. Mark Gahey at Crystal Palace and William Pacho at Eintracht Frankfurt. I don't think he is represented by Gestifute. I'm sure he's not.
I don't think we're even going to get a looking at him, to be honest, mate. Do you think?
No, he's not.
Do you think that Sporting Lisbon, they're going to want to do any business with Liverpool over the situation what happened with the manager, the way it went public?
Probably not. But was that? I don't know if that was based on Liverpool or was that based on what's his face's Amarim's agent at the time?
Yeah, could be.
I don't know. So that there's no one on here on this agency that Liverpool have been linked with in the past. Their main player that they represent is Bruno Fernandes. But yeah,
I think that we should just. I think we should just go and get Garcia, Xavi, and Gerrard back and throw Fowler in the mix with Collymore and everyone. Let's just get them back.
Collymore, really?
I like Collymore. You dozy mare.
Fucking cauliflower ears.
I get the garter on you.
And Anasio to me would be, I think, what you call it. Uncle Dave said Anasio's left-footed and 22, a good age.
Mm-hmm. He would be the successor to Van Dijk for me. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think I told you, Shauna, before we went live. I'm not basing this on anything I know, but actually just a gut feeling. I think Inacio happens. I think Liverpool sign Inacio this summer.
I bloody hope so. I hope so.
I just based off, I listened to a few things earlier on, and from what Fabrizio Romano were mentioning about, because he was talking about that Kubo lad, he said that Liverpool are basically working on a centre back and a midfielder. So we're hearing all these reports from Portugal about this. Like the reports at the moment were basically that, what's his face? Inacio is going to. Not Inacio, Sporting is going to allow Inacio to leave for less than his release clause. Now, I don't see that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen because what's the point in him signing and getting the release clause in it?
Which is why I said originally, Adam, that if the three players that we're talking about contract deals, if they don't leave this summer, they have to sign an extension onto the contract so that the club at least get an opportunity to get some money for them. And that, so I think that's what
we're getting to.
I think we sign 3 players this window still. But I've just going back on what you mentioned then, Martin, about everything going public about with Amarim and stuff like that. Yeah. I reckon that's why we're not hearing anything about Inacio, because I think they are playing this one so close to the chest that I reckon.
Well, haven't we got? We still got Van der Beer.
Well, there was some stuff I think that came out earlier on the other day, wasn't it, about saying that Liverpool have to sell a few players before they can buy some players. Like, if that's the case, again, that's just FSG being FSG. Like, we missed out on so many players under Klopp for that situation where we had, Klopp wanted Daniel Marlin, but he had to sell Shaqiri and Origi before they'd sanction the Marlin deal. So yeah, like, I know again, Marlin maybe not turned out to be the player that we thought he was going to be, but still, it's not the matter. It's the principle at the end of the day.
How much power do you think he's got? Because
who Slot?
Yeah, because we're not hearing nothing from not. I know it seems like we've gone back to years and years ago. You don't hear anything, then bang, all of a sudden. Remember when the Echoes used to wear for Reed? I was always brought up, never believe anything until you see that shirt on the player's top. Yeah. Now, over the last few years, we've heard loads of stuff. Now we're not hearing nothing. Is that down to FSG or is it down to Arnie? Is he saying, don't want anything going out in the media? Or it's like, Arnie, listen, you'll get a choice of these are 3 players. You pick one of them.
There could be something behind that. I don't know. Today we've been hearing the line that's coming out from all the Liverpool journalists that Arne Slot wants to assess the squad while they're in America. Well, he's been assessing the squad since he took the job. Like he's been watching training sessions. He's watched games. He's been doing loads of stuff.
The goggles now. I have to laugh at. Steve Nichols was given out. He's like, "What the fuck's going on?" Sorry, I was trying to put on a Scottish accent there. He's like, "What the fuck's going on here with the goggles and all sorts of shit? This is not, I don't know what the hell they're doing." But this is going to go into the transfer strategy and what we think about it, what's actually going on, which will then lead into the Monday moans. Because by Jesus, I have a few Monday moans.
I'm being moaned at now. I can hear it downstairs. Babe, honey up. Supposed to go fit this bloody sink. So,
you're gonna get off then, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna get off, mate, because mine needs to get wet.
All right, man. Speak to you in a bit.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Yeah, mate. So just about this, should we finish off this transfer stuff? Look, I think, have you said anything you want to say about Inacio?
Yeah, I mean, there was also rumours of us with this Kobu fella.
Yeah, I've got something for that. Hold on. Yeah,
right winger.
There we go. Kubo. Real Sociedad, 23 years of age, right winger, centre mid, left winger, 50-60 million pound valuation. I've seen. I haven't seen anybody else interested in him. 41 appearances, 7 goals, 5 assists, no injuries, 3 yellow cards, no reds. His contract doesn't expire until 2029, and he extended it this year in February. His progressive carries are quite high, 89.7, dribbles 95.2. His non-penalty goals is really high, like over 3/4 of his goals, and not from a penalty. Goals and assists 56, assists 62.8. He's pretty good at his key passes at 72. Attacking actions 94.5, and his minutes played was 2,371. I don't know what to think about this one, in all fairness, because before you mention what you want to say, Sean, before we went live, we got this update from Fabrizio Romano, which says that Kubo to Liverpool is not close or imminent, and there is nothing really concrete happening with the Sociedad winger at this stage. And then we had Wataru Endo on a Japanese YouTube channel or TV show, I'm not too sure. And he was basically asked the question, if you could transfer one Japanese player to Liverpool, who would it be? And then these are apparently the quotes of what Endo said. So he's put, maybe Kubo. They are looking for a replacement for Mo Salah. So that's probably going to be a real area for Liverpool to strengthen in the future. If they think about who can replace him, I think it will be Kubo. And that's straight from Wataru Endo himself.
Probably not advisable for Endo to be making comments like that, to be honest with you, especially when it's talking about, players that are present at Liverpool Football Club. I mean, I don't really see the point in this, lad. Sean, yeah, by the way, Sean, don't mind the Streamlabs. I think that's just some bot. You can use foul language all you like. Kubu's just a Diaz on the opposite wing, may suit slot system, but rather Frimpong play right wing myself. Yeah.
I don't know. Kubo, when you look at his highlights and everything, he does look like a bit of a street player, someone who, like Salah was about a couple of years ago, when Salah had that burst of pace and everything like that, and he seems to have kind of lost it all and everything like that. I do anyway. I think Salah's lost a couple of yards of pace over the past couple of years. What did Sean say? That better off signing Dean Hushin for 20 million as understood it for Van Dijk, and I sure how they're going to prove set pieces differences. If you want to see me. Yeah, you could put Bajcetic back at centre back as well. That's a good one. But yeah, Kubo, I'm not too sure. Like before I saw that Endo stuff, I was like, oh, nah, I don't think so. But we know that Endo reported back to training the same day as Mo Salah. We know that, well, it looks like that Salah and Endo have a bit of a close relationship. They always seem to be hanging around each other and stuff like that. It's a bit like Shimikas as well. It seems to be part of that group. So I guess it's not like, don't take a bloody brain surgeon to figure out that Liverpool are obviously looking for a replacement for Mo Salah. And I guess maybe he'll put on a bit of the spot in the interview, like saying, oh, who would you take from Japan? He's got to kind of answer it, hasn't he? But I think I do find it interesting the way he answered it. The way he talked about, oh, they're gonna get a Salah replacement, like as if it was just, yeah, you know, we're gonna get a Salah replacement, and we're actively looking for one right now.
It's hard to know. I mean, like the thing is, are we still up for Gordon?
I think that one's still not dead. I won't be surprised if that happened.
Because you know he has the same agency as Kosunu. Same agent. Yeah. The fella from Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh.
Unique
the defender we
Sports.
just spoke about.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Sean? You might have just, my brain's going now. Do you know, like when they do this thing where Liverpool will be talking to that agency, and then people start thinking, "Oh, who could it be that Liverpool are looking for there?" It could be either one of them.
SKP.
It could be either one of them. It could be that Kosunu or Kubo. Could be. Like, why would these Kubo reports come out of Japan? That's one. Like, I don't know. You know, I do think though, for that money, 50, 60 million, you could get someone better than that.
Well, you know us, we'll probably offer 30 in a bag of crisps.
Probably,
you know.
But I did find this article as well, just to give people a bit of a an eye into what kind of player that Kubo is. Where's it gone there? Basically, it was saying something along the lines of Kubo was named the Japanese Messi. He obviously moved to Real Madrid and they loaned him out a few times before he moved to Real Sociedad on a permanent basis. And then the report is from the Japanese outlet Sponchi, if that's how you pronounce it. And it says that the deal is in the final stages after the player's representatives travel to England, and Liverpool are set to pay around 55 million for Kubo, with the report stating he has been chosen to be Salah's long-term successor. And Liverpool, as the Mirror understands, have ruled out selling Mohamed Salah this summer. So maybe, again, there could be something in what you just said there. The fact that there's two players that's been linked with in the space of 48 hours. They've got the same agency. I think it's 50 million's a lot as well, Bri. I wouldn't spend that much on him at all. I think you could get him less than that. I'd be a bit more happier, but not for 50 million. Especially when you've got Anthony Gordon, who's probably a bit more Premier League proven on that side. I don't know. You've got my brain ticking now with that. The fact with that agency.
I mean, I'm not just the money maker with the face. Do you know what I mean? It's just like I've got your brain working.
Interesting. I think that's pretty much it for transfer stuff. I wanted to talk about the players and everything. I don't think we've got anything else on here, have we? Well, I guess you tell you what we'll do before we move on to next bit. I think this is interesting to talk about. So, you know, like you sent me this earlier, Sean, in regards to the whole Lenny Yoro stuff and how all the Liverpool fans and everything were in uproar because Man United stole a march on us, apparently. You sent me this. I'll just take us off so people, well, no, it doesn't matter. I'll leave it there. So basically there, if you look at the stats of Yoro on the left and Sepp on the right, this is their stats for last year, guys. Obviously, Sepp played in the Bundesliga, Yoro played in the French league. So depending on what you think is the better league, I think that Sepp did a lot better than Lenny Yoro did. So anyway, obviously as well, Sepp's older than Lenny Yoro. Just got to put that out there as well. But anyway, so Sepp scored 3 goals. He made 38 tackles, so 1 more goal, 2 more tackles. Yoro was better at take-ons by 4. Sepp was better at aerial duels. He was better at duels 1. Yoro was better at the ground duels. Sepp was better at clearances, interceptions, and blocked shots. So, again, that's just a snippet of their stats. But judging by them, Sepp had a better season than Lenny Yoro. He's just gone for 50 million. So,
and Kwanzaa. And
Kwanzaa had a better season as well. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, my take on it is this, right? Lenny Henry went to United because he got guarantees and he got more money. For a guy his age, he should be saying, look, the future is in my hands, in my destiny. If I'm consistent on the training ground, I will get my opportunity and I will prove myself, right? He wanted a guarantee that he was going to start playing, that he was going to be on the starting 11. So I think United are, have given him the money just to get the deal over the line. And I think that might go against them. I really think that might go against them. And, I see a lot of people losing their shit over this. I mean, he looks like some sort of rapper, cartoon character as Igor, Uncle Dave says. But look, he's chosen to go to a club that haven't been in the top 4, have a manager who has barely held on to his job because they couldn't get anybody else, has a leaking roof, is all mouth, all talk, and they haven't really done anything over the last number of years since Fergie left. So they've won a couple of trophies here and there. They're in our shadow. They're not in the top 4. They have an awful lot to prove and an awful lot to do before they even get within an Nasa's roar top 4 again. There's a lot of other clubs that are doing an awful lot better and are making far better improvements. Aston Villa, to mention one. A lot of clubs doing better business than ourselves and United. But United, I don't think, this guy is a finished article. He's got potential, absolutely. But have we not seen this picture before where potential signed, on the basis they would be promised this, and this, and they were a flop?
Yep. I mean, I was going to say something about United as well in general. Like, I think Liverpool, I'm not happy with how Liverpool are handling the transfer stuff so far this year. I'm not going to turn around and start defending that. I'm not. However, what I will say is Man United are a club that need a lot more in terms of work doing in the transfer market than Liverpool do. Let's be fair. We finished, 3rd last year with a brand new midfield, we had AFCON that happened, so Salah was gone for that, and then he came back injured, and then yada yada yada. We had to field Kwanzaa as a centre back for halfway through the season because we lost Joe Matip for the full season. We had Thiago, who played 2 minutes of football all year, and we did all this without a DM. Whereas Man United have been struggling to, I was going to say qualify for FA Cup, but they automatically qualify because they're in Premier League. But you know what I mean? They've been absolutely garbage for the past few years.
Yeah.
So they're going to throw money at these players. We're probably going to lose Manuel Ugarte to United as well, guys. Again, he's probably one of the, out of the 3 DMs that I would go and sign this summer, he's in that top 3 with Fofana and Edison. And he's probably going to go to United. That's why I did that video the other day where I said of Liverpool and Chesterfield had a fallout, because that's 2 players that Liverpool would miss out to Man United on this year, both represented by Chesterfield, who Liverpool have supposedly got some sort of, good working relationship with. But anyway, that was that for the United stuff. They've got a lot more work to do this year, but that doesn't make me happy with how Liverpool have handled the transfer business so far this year. Well, lack of, shall we say. Well, apart from that 16-year-old kid anyway, 15, 16-year-old kid, whichever. I guess one question for you though, Shauna, before we move on from this Man United bit. Do you think, what if Jurgen Klopp was still the manager of Liverpool, Lenny Yoro and Manuel Ugarte would be choosing Man United over Liverpool?
It's like asking me if my auntie had balls, would she be my uncle? I mean, we're always going to ask that question because Klopp is no longer and now Slot is there. So we're going to overanalyze this because Slot is now head coach and Klopp is gone. I said this from the start that when Klopp leaves, we're really going to see FSG's true colours, and we're going to see just how good they are or just how bad they are. And FSG have the opportunity to, silence a few critics, including me, by doing the right thing, by giving, Slot a kitty where he can bring in the players he wants and make the team his own. I think Liverpool sells itself, regardless of whether it's Brendan Rodgers or feckin' Doc Cotton is manager of Liverpool or not. I think, and I've said that, Muscusi, that they did win the lotto with Klopp, and everyone, contributes and credits FSG with what has happened at Liverpool under Klopp, and to me, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with what Klopp said there. With that, basically, it's not fair to bring up Klopp. It's like saying would Tia, Virgil, and Salah would resign. Probably, to be true. Yeah, I saw someone else talking about what is it? Klopp being mentioned a lot lately, and I think that'd probably a bit bad of me bringing that up. But I just kind of it's a question, it's a question. Would these players be choosing Man United over us if we still had him in charge? I don't think they would do.
No, but it's not just about. You see, here's the thing: these players tend not to think about the stature of the club. They look at United and they say, well, United's relatively big club, right? But it's in decline, right? Now, if a club like United turn around and say to Lenny Yoro, who's probably going through puberty still, to say, well, this is what we can do. We can guarantee you first team football and guarantee you we'll pay you more. Of course, he's going to grab and bite the hand off them and go for it. But I guarantee you that within January, he's not going to be a happy bunny. I don't think, I think he's destined to fail. I think if any player comes out demanding, well, I want first team football, at someone as young as him, I don't agree with that.
No. Yeah, I agree.
Do you
with
get
that,
what I mean, Adam?
No, yeah, I get what you're saying.
He's
and
a young lad. He's a young lad.
No, yeah, and they chucked him in straight away in his first preseason before, like he'd signed like 2 days before, and they chucked him straight into centre back in his first game against Rangers.
And the first question they ask the amazing, fabulous goalkeeper that is Unana, what do you think of Henry? Like as if he's in a position to critique him. He's been absolutely woeful. So,
Just got to catch up on some of these comments again. United will throw money this summer. I think, yeah, I agree with that. What's this next one? Missed that. Without saying, but honestly, don't know why a young player would go to United. Money. I think it's money. South says a big lot. The Manx was actually now because defensively they're crap. With Liverpool, like Euro, would have to push Van Dijk and be like, yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? I don't think, like you said there, I don't think he's going to come in and, like, I don't even think if Inacio signs that he's pushing Van Dijk out. I think he's a bench player this year if he comes in.
But if you look at what Stevie G, said, that you've got to be hungry, you've got to, although they're your teammates, you've got to fight for your position, and once you get that position, they're not coming back in the team. They need to fucking, players like Lenny Henry need to be like that. They need to stop, looking for guarantees and money. What age is he again?
18. Is he 18, 19?
Would you go on it with that? That guy will be running home to his mommy, in January, guaranteed. I'm sorry, I'm not being bitter or anything like that. To be honest with you, I'd be underwhelmed, if we signed him, because I don't think he would be. If that's all we signed this summer, I'd be a bit disappointed.
Yeah, that's true. As well, you got to think if we brought him in, then you're going to stifle someone like Kwanzaa, can't you, as well?
Exactly. And Kwanzaa, I mean, Kwanzaa had this attitude when Matip got injured. He says,
"See you later, Dave.
See you, Dave. Thanks for
joining,
coming
mate.
Give us a thumbs up." Kwanzaa said, "Look, sorry to hear about Matip, but now it's my opportunity." What a great attitude to have. What a great attitude to have. Yeah. And I mean, Kwanzaa has been amazing in some of the games. There have been some fans that have been very critical of him at some games, which they need to stop. He's a young lad, but I can't see how Lenny Henry gets ahead of Kwanzaa.
Nah, not after last season anyway.
No.
Right, so got that bit there sorted out. I'm just making notes, guys, for the chapters and stuff. That's all I'm doing. So, right then, I think we'll touch on I guess because this was a big talking topic around the Liverpool fan base the other day. Liverpool got beat 1-0 by Preston in their first pre-season behind closed door friendly. My opinion, I don't really care. There was 25 kids that played, 25 players that played. They all probably played 15, 20 minutes or something, daft like that. I've seen the highlights. We created a lot of chances. Looking from the camera angle as well, it wasn't the best, but it did look like we've got a different style of play kind of already. They were, instead of constantly pushing the ball into the box, they were passing it back a bit and trying to keep hold of possession a lot more than they probably would normally have done under Jurgen Klopp, which I think is something we all kind of suspected anyway when we got slotting. But yeah, I think I mentioned it to you in a message, Sean. I couldn't care less if Liverpool lost every single preseason game, as long as they win as long as they win when it matters. I'm not bothered. What about you, mate?
Couldn't give a single fuck. The amount of people that and rival fans that were taking the piss out of Liverpool, and people like myself, because we lost to Preston. I was like, really? You're going to go on about a pre-season? Do you know what I mean? Who gives a shit? He brought in youngsters. I didn't even watch the game. I've no interest. I've never had an interest in pre-season friendlies.
No.
I went to one after we won the Charity Shield. It was literally the game again, the next day after the Charity Shield, and we were hammered. We were absolutely hammered, and I was like, yeah, so be it. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't care less as long as we are match fit. We, get rid of the rustness or whatever, the rustiness or whatever, and are match fit for the kickoff for the season. I couldn't care less.
No. Same. I thought I'd touch on it because there was a lot of people going into meltdown over it.
Yeah, people need to cop on. Streamlabs, would you get it?
I've deleted it. It's all right. I deleted it. I need to sort that out. Still haven't had a chance to do it yet. So that's the pre-season covered off, I guess. We've got a game on Friday, haven't we? In Philadelphia.
In the streets of Philadelphia. No. Sorry. Real Betis.
Yeah. It's got pre-season.
I couldn't care less about that either. I mean, as long as we don't have injuries, as long as the players that we want to be sold put out a good stint and whatever, and put some money on the table first, fine. Players that want to perform and want to, give Slot a bit of a headache in terms of picking his team, that they overperform, that's fine. That's all that matters, No,
I agree. Is
it's Saturday at 12:30, actually. Oh, it's a 12:30 kickoff.
Is that in the night though? Is that 12 a.m.? That's that midnight, isn't it? midnight. Either way, it's still 12:30, isn't it?
It's still
past 12. We've got some lads that have just joined. We've got Gerson's put a comment in here. Inacio, Edison, and Kubo will be signings this summer, unless Liverpool bring in a surprise wide player. I don't know if you missed it earlier, Gerson, but I think Liverpool get Inacio. I think that one happens. Something that Sean mentioned about Kubo got my brain going a little bit regarding the player's agent and who else he is a representative of. Liverpool were both obviously linked with 2 players in the past 48 hours, one being Kubo and one being, go on, Sean, what's his name?
Gordon. Oh, sorry. Kusnunu,
the centre-back at Bayer Leverkusen. Both represented by the same agent, and it's interesting that we're being linked with both of them in the past 48 hours. Cranky JD. Wouldn't surprise me if they signed a left-footed Inacio that can also play at left-back, Inacio, and go to back 3 with Trent High. Maybe.
Yeah.
Didn't see that I don't think they played that in the friendly. But yeah, maybe they might change the formation halfway through. Miscusa, purpose of preseason is fitness and experimenting. Exactly. That's exactly right, mate. Streamlabs
actually told him off for saying FK. Like, seriously?
I'll sort that out. Copyright said the kickoff is at midnight. All right there, Craig. How you doing, pal? Is this the lad from Canada? I'm sure it is, isn't it? I'm sure Craig's from Canada.
Craig Lennox from Canada.
I think so.
Canada.
Yeah, I think so. Dean Heisen, I can't pronounce that name, and Lucas Baraldo for Vidain Studies. Maybe. I've not heard of the Dean guy before. I've heard of Baraldo before. He's been linked to us. I'm sure he has.
This better not be like one of these kind of Arsenal fan TVs or Spurs fan channels where they say, have you heard of that player Ben Dover that we're linked with?
You know, I'm not going to lie. When I first heard of Ben Doak, I was kind of like...
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's good. I hope we all come together and grow, play strong in preseason. I hope we can get 1 or 2 in the summer. Yeah, I reckon we get at least 2, but I think 3 people join us this summer.
Craig is from Canada, yeah.
And he is from Canada. See, I remembered. See,
nice one, Craig.
Remember?
Miscusa, you don't ever have to apologize. I curse like a sailor.
Yeah. I'll sort that out. I've just not got around to doing it yet. In fact, I don't know. I don't even know how I'd do it. It'd be on there somewhere, but I ain't got time to mess about with it yet. Right then, I think that is pretty much. Have I touched all the topics I wanted to touch of? Oh no, there's one more. Apparently, if I can find it right quick, Atalanta linking with the Edison stuff. They've signed that Celtic player, or they're on the verge of signing that Celtic player. Where's his name now? Is it like O'Reilly or something like that? Apparently, he plays defensive mid for Celtic, and Atalanta apparently either signed him or on the verge of signing him. Which, you know, if they're going signing someone like that, that does kind of maybe think that Edison's time at Atalanta could be up, or it could be Coop Miners. I don't know, but us Liverpool fans are obviously hoping that it's Edison.
I don't know.
What's this? Dan's going out on loan to Plymouth to play for Rooney. Is that Jaden Dan's? Is it really? Nice. I think that'd be good for him to get some game time. I think. Jaden Dan's more game time in the league or something like that. Sorry, I want that one. Against Preston, you could see slots, hot zones for it. Yeah. Edison on his way to Liverpool. Hey, I'm not going to go out on a limb on that one, but I'm just going to repeat myself again for probably the 3rd time. And I'm probably going to be wrong now because I've said it 3 times, but I've kind of got a feeling Liverpool signing Inacio this summer. I don't know about Edison, but Inacio, I think they will.
I don't know. I mean, like I heard Dunk say that he reckons Edison is going to be, you know, to keep an eye on him. So I don't really know. I mean, I only know from what I saw from when I was at the game. So,
oh yeah, you watched him live, didn't you?
I did. I watched him live.
You went to the game at Anfield, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I was throwing like all sorts of battles at him. No, am I joking? You know, I mean, I saw him play, but I mean, can I say that he kind of stuck out? Not really, because I was more upset with how badly we played. So I don't know.
Do you think there's something behind that though, where potentially, again, I'm just pointing out there that Liverpool fans are raving about Edison, but really only looked good because of how bad we played?
I think it tends to happen quite a lot, in silly season, that we are linked with a player off a team that bet us or knocked us out of a cup or whatever. I can't remember the last time we were talking about someone that knocked us out. But I mean, Edison certainly, seems to be the talk of the town. I don't know. I really don't know.
Craig's talking about the Turkish player. I think he's on about Yilmaz there. I think I covered him in a video the other day. All right, Mighty Reds, how you doing, pal?
Brandon, what's the story?
So yeah, this Yilmaz stuff, his stats don't live up to me. He might have had a good Euros, but I think Liverpool have been stung in the past by having people who come and sign for us after a good tournament. I'm talking about El Hadj Diouf there. He lit up the 2002 World Cup, and then we ended up signing him off the back of that. And Salif Diao as well. But I don't think Diao was too bad, to be fair. Like, he wasn't amazing, but he wasn't as bad as Diouf. But yeah, I wouldn't go for Yilmaz, especially when you're looking at, Kobo, or what's he called again? Koba?
Take Kobo.
Take Kobo. Yeah, if you could get him or Anthony Gordon, I'd take either one of them two over Yilmaz at the Euros. I don't think he scored a goal at the Euros either. From what I saw, anyway, I might be wrong there, but I don't think he scored a goal. But
he can play as an attacking midfielder, but he can also play
left wing or right wing as well. Yeah. But yeah, right, cool then. I think that let's have a quick study. Mighty Reds, you just put this up. Seems like reporters are just throwing anything against the wall until something. That's what they always do.
That's what they always do, Brandon. That's what they always do.
That's what they always do, mate.
And it goes from the top down. Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to cover? I think I've done all my notes and everything. Is it time for your Monday Moan?
Yeah, I think we just need to go straight to the Monday Moan, to be honest.
Cool. There we go then. Oh no, wrong one. Press the wrong one. Hold on. Here we go. Gotta catch another fight. The apple bottom make him wanna bite. I just wanna have a good night. Right there, Shauna. It's time for your Monday Moan. What have you got for us today?
Manchester United fans.
Can't even hear you.
Oh, Manchester United fans. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Manchester United fans, you've achieved nothing yet. Just shut the hell up. Just wait until the season starts. Wait until the season ends. And then see if you've achieved anything. All you do is just talk, and talk. I'm sick of hearing about it. I had a great conversation with a few Mancs on Adam Naylor LFC there the other day. I don't know whether you saw it, Adam.
No, I saw you mention it. You text me saying, I've had a right chat with him. I can't find the comment, so I didn't see it. I don't know what happened.
I personally think that they probably deleted their comments because they couldn't. They said to me, come back to me in 3 years, because they reckon within 3 years that they're going to be competing for the title again. Now, before
you go any further, mate, it was only 3 months ago. They wanted the manager out.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that guy, like, basically he's been told, well, you have the job because we couldn't get anyone else to do the job. So congratulations. That's, seriously, United fans are getting more deluded as the years go on. And, where they talk about us holding on to the past, that is all they do now, is hold on to the past. And Sky Sports kind of helped them to kind of do little reruns of when Roy Keane was playing and when they used to win stuff and whatever. Well, that time is over and done with, ladies and gentlemen. You can go. I don't know whether they took out their, put out their DVDs of when they knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup or when they bet us in the league. I think that DVD is out. I don't think they had the open bus top tour of Manchester quite yet, but they might want to sort out their leaking roof and their facilities. it's a joke. What Paul Anagu says, I actually posted on my Facebook a couple of days after our final home game that the way Trent was all tearing up, looking into the carpet. I thought,
No, I think Trent's
no,
I think he was more emotional because of the whole Klopp thing and what Klopp had done for him.
Exactly.
There was a comment earlier on, actually, when you've mentioned Roy Keane now, and I can't find it, but someone mentioned about something that Roy Keane had said, I'm guessing. Do you know what's he mentioned lately? I know he said something about Arne Slot. I can't remember.
I think Top Bites of Anfield said, did you hear what Keno said, or Keno's comments? Hold on now a second.
I don't know what he'd said, but I'm guessing it's something to do with him having a pop at Arne Slot, I'm guessing. I don't know.
He can have as much pops at Arne Slot, but Arne Slot hasn't really gave Arne Slot a chance, right? Ten Hag, I mean, he's kind of underperformed really as manager, and he's there by the hasp of his like he is just in the job. So he's barely hanging on to his job. I guarantee if they have a bad run of 4 or 5 games, he's out in his ear. Guarantee.
Yeah, 100%. Like we said just then, like they wanted him out like 3 months ago, and how long's he been there now? Is this his 3rd season he's going into? Let's see what happens. I think we mentioned this when Slot first came in. He's got a better foundation of a team than probably any other managers had over recent years, I'd say. So Arne Slot needs to get top form minimum for me in his first season, and I think he will with the squad that he's got. To be fair, that's where I think Liverpool will be in his first year and everything. And I could see Ten Hag getting sacked by Christmas.
Yeah, so can I.
I could see that happening. But yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to moan about? Was that it?
No, Jesus Christ, no. I've got a good bit to moan about.
Go.
I just think obviously the transfer strategy at Liverpool. There's big question marks over that. There's obviously talks of us waiting until the preseason is over, us not selling players because the squad is thin and as bad as my hairline, and we need them for the preseason. Therefore, that's why we haven't sold any players, and that's why we haven't bought any players. So, to me, I don't believe in all that shit. I think the preseason needs to be used as to gel the new players in with the old, so they can kind of get a sense of each other. I think the fact that business hasn't been done yet, or there's been no business whatsoever, is rather worrying. I mean, we only brought in another coach there. What was your man's name that used to play for Everton?
Heitinga.
We only brought him in last week. So I think the whole process has been really, really, really slow. And I'm quite worried about that.
Just to put something else out there for you to think about. We are 3 weeks and 5 days away from the first game of the season. And we have not signed a single player yet.
And that's not going to help Arne Slot, because then people are going to question, well, and I hate bringing it up. Klopp is gone, and people need to just, get over that,
Who's talking about defeats?
Yeah, who's talking about defeats? But
you're about this comment here. I think if we were talking about United at the time, so I presume it means
that wasn't about.
I presume it's about United.
That wasn't about Liverpool.
No, but yeah. Like I say, we're just a little over 3 weeks away from the beginning of the season. We've not signed any players. We've only just potentially. No, well, even we haven't. I don't know if you see this, but on Twitter, X, whatever, Liverpool advertise jobs and stuff out there. They're still recruiting for data people.
Really?
Yep. I've seen 2 jobs over the past month where they're still recruiting for people for the data side of everything.
Well, can send me on a link and I'll put my CV in. But I just think, we need to start doing something, and we need to, use the preseason as an opportunity to gel the new players with the squads.
A bedding in period, yeah.
I think it's really stupid to bring in players and then expect them to kind of hit the ground running, because then all they have is, the training ground, and the training ground isn't really going to give them a proper idea of what it's going to be like to play for Liverpool. So I just think, all right, Gary.
All right, Gary, mate. I think Guy here would be a bit expensive, Gary. Edison, probably. Danny Elmo, I can see him going to City if they lose Kevin De Bruyne.
Elmo out of Sesame Street. All right, Hat.
That's over on Twitch, is that?
That's Twitch. Oh, cool.
That's not on YouTube, that's over on Twitch.
Oh, yeah, see the Twitch kind of logo.
Yeah. If you were to give a time frame now, then Sean, knowing obviously that we are flying off to America probably in the next couple of days, do you reckon Liverpool get anything done before Friday?
No,
I don't either.
No.
What do you think about the line of Liverpool Arne Slot is assessing the squad? Let me find the exact wording, because it's the journalists that have come out of all of this. Who's this lad? Lewis Steele. He's basically come out with and said,
like a porn star. That's a great name, Lewis.
that Arne Slot wants to fully assess his squad during the upcoming pre-season tour of the United States, and a patient approach to transfers will be applied.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but you see, the thing is what we've got to understand is Arne Slot is a head coach. Okay, it's Richard Hughes and Gordon that are obviously making the decisions of what business is done. Obviously, Arne Slot has a say insofar as, well, that these are the players that I want brought into the club. What can we do? And then obviously they go on who's the fucking cheapest, essentially. But where's Stream Lab that was going to start giving out to me for using abusive language. I just think that we've got to do something, and we got to do something soon, because it's worrying that we haven't. And look, I mean, I've been critical of of United and United's fans, but in fairness, they have done. They're doing business. They're bringing in. They're probably getting your man. Who's the fella? I can't think of him. We were linked with him.
Ugarte.
There you go.
Yeah, that
would be a good signing for them. I still think they have an awful lot to do. I still think we have a better team than them.
Mm-hmm.
So and even with Lenny Yoro, I still think that we'll have no problem. The likes of Nunes or Cody or Diaz or Salah or whatever, I don't see any problem getting through with. I wouldn't be as a on the forward line, Liverpool's forward line. I wouldn't be looking and say, oh shit, fucking there's Lenny Yoro. We're in big trouble now. Do you know what I mean? Woo, hold up a minute. We're really gonna have to.
Hat_I'm is saying that Arne Slot needs to get the potential out of Szoboszlai. He's a great player. I agree. I think we might see a different Szoboszlai this year. I really do.
I hope we do, because I like Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
When I was over in Anfield last, I was on some Hungarian YouTube channel or Hungarian TV. Hopefully not Pornhub. But they were asking me what I thought of Szoboszlai, and I really like Szoboszlai. I really like him. Obviously the second half of the season he didn't play all that well. That's mostly down to maybe injury and what have you. But I do hope that Arne Slot gets the full potential out of Szoboszlai. But there'll be a few other players that need to really up their game now, and there's no excuses. Maybe they could say, well, coming up to the end of Klopp was running out of ideas. His ambition for the game maybe was kind of dwindling a little bit. I don't think anyone could say Klopp ruined him. I disagree with that, Hat, with all due respect to you. I don't think Klopp could ever ruin any player.
Well, Keita.
Keita ruined Keita. I feel sorry for Keita. He's had a really, really bad. Where has he gone to? I can't even remember. He's on the bloody medics table anyway.
He got a Werder Bremen?
Yeah, but didn't like his, teammates or peers have voted him the worst signing.
Yeah.
Worst player of the season. That's soul destroying, man. That's soul destroying.
Considering when he came to Liverpool, he was supposedly one of the best midfielders in the Bundesliga that year when he left. Yeah. And then we hyped him up for a year because we signed him the year before, but we didn't take him until the year after. And then Stevie G handed him his jersey. Like, oh God.
Lads. No, I feel sorry for Naby. I really do. But sure, look, but
what about these goggles then? You were on about these goggles earlier. What about them?
I want to know the advantages of these fucking goggles. We're walking around like fucking something out of X-Men with these goggles. What the fuck is that? Are we gonna walk around like Edgar Davids like the whole season? What the hell is that about?
Hey, we saw Edgar Davids this year.
We did, yes, you're right, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, Edgar Davids was playing? He's fucking there, Sean. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's that goalkeeping coach, I can't remember what it's called, that who no one had ever heard of. He was the American goalkeeping coach, and apparently it's his idea to bring it in. But
these Americans, honest to God,
the goggles are supposed to give them a shorter sight of view, so they can only see certain ways. And if I remember right, as well, he also put on like I felt like I was doing tragedy then when I was doing this with my hands.
Tragedy.
But then what's the other like? Didn't they wear like earphones as well, something like that, to block out the sound and everything like that. So yeah, the only thing I could potentially think that is down to is to basically help the players think quicker on their feet. I guess that's just me playing devil's advocate and trying to come up with a reason what I think it could be for.
I mean, listen, if it's not, I mean, let's look at our goalkeeping or our goalkeepers, with the exception of Adrian. Creevy and Kelleher, the best number 2 in the Premier League by a country mile, I think. And I will fight anyone to tell me otherwise. And Alisson, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League and possibly the world, in my opinion.
Well, just before you move on from that, the Man City keeper, who everyone kind of thinks is supposed to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world, according to all reports, he's off to the Saudi League.
Good riddance to him. Yeah, good riddance. I think the Saudi League is I mean, these players will get one whiff of it and then go back, I think that's my opinion. But I mean, I heard Steve Nichols going on about like it's fucking ridiculous, these fucking goggles and all of this sort of shit. Look, I mean, if it helps, brilliant. But unfortunately, because we've got a new head coach, all they're doing is they're talking about Arne Slot and his, how he goes about training. He'll be under the magnifying glass for maybe the next season or so. Hat says Alisson isn't the best in the world.
At least right now.
Okay, so who is?
I can't even think of who the best keeper in the world is. I tell you what I did like. There's a couple of keepers I liked in the Euros. I liked the lad at Portugal, Diogo Costa, I think he's called.
Yeah.
He's a good lad. And then I liked the keeper for Spain as well. Is it Une Simon or something like that? I think he was it called something like that? He was a good keeper as well. I liked him. I still think Alisson's probably the best out there, in all fairness. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that's better than him. You
Well,
know,
Unana is like a close second without a doubt. Unana. No. Liverpool's
what?
front line kind of sacked. I don't know.
Gakpo, Salah, Nunes. Yeah. We agree with that, Hat, and we do think that you probably might see this is Salah's last season potentially. Maybe you move on Diaz or Jota this year. I don't know. Shauna, you mentioned Queeving Kelleher there. Do you
Yes, it is.
do you think he goes still? I think he stays now. I think it's getting a bit late now for
Well,
him to go.
apparently the new Republic of Ireland manager, 8 months without a manager, so we were 8 months, and we go for the former Iceland and Jamaican manager. I can't think of his name, Henrik or something, whatever the feck. But he has advised Queeving Kelleher that he should be looking for another club.
Yeah, and I can understand that, but
So,
we are a week away from August.
yeah.
So shall we say we are? What did I say? 3 weeks and a bit away from the start of the season. We've just lost Adrian. I can't see Kelleher going now. I think it's a bit late, especially when that what's he called? The Jaros or something like it's called. The backup keeper who played for Czech Republic, Jaros. He played in that 1-0 against Preston, and when I saw them score that goal, he didn't cover himself in glory. Like, he was mainly at fault for that. He was well off his line. And then they kind of just lobbed him into the bottom corner and stuff like that. I think Gakpo's going to have a big season, and O'Shea should get the Ireland job. John O'Shea. Is that...
Yeah, he was the interim manager, and he wasn't given. But I think, hold on till I just make sure that I have the correct pronunciation. Heimir Hallgrímsson, good Irish name for you. So he's the new Irish coach, and he's hoping that O'Shea will be part of his team in some capacity. But yeah, I mean, the FAI are an absolute disgrace between how they've handled the women's football and grassroots, and how they've handled the Irish position for the men's. It's been an absolute disaster. But yeah, I mean, he's basically said that the Queeving Kelleher needs to leave or needs to leave Liverpool to further on his career. I mean, we've got two very good goalkeepers, Zuma and Queeving Kelleher. And Queeving, I think if he wants to stay at number one, he'll have to be playing regular football. But if he leaves Liverpool, it could be the decline of his career. You never know.
Yeah, I could see him at somewhere like Celtic or...
Celtic have just signed Kasper Schmeichel.
Yes, I can't see him going there now. I could see him in the Premier League if he was to stay in the Prem. I could see him playing for someone like Brighton or Aston Villa. A team that's like always kind of challenging for top four, something like that.
The new Juventus goalkeeper is great. One coming.
I think, is that like DeMarcos or something like that? I've heard his name. He was mentioned with Liverpool before he went to Juve, and his agent actually said that Liverpool were interested in signing him, but he either turned it down or they didn't come forward with an offer or something like that. It's something like that. It's like DeMarcos or something like that. His name, I can't remember exactly. But yeah. Anything else you want to moan about, Shano?
God, that sounds really bad. It sounds like you're.
I know.
Is there anything else you want to whinge about, Sean? What the? No.
What else is on? Get off your chest before we finish.
Get it off your bloody chest and be done with it. All right, I'm sick of hearing you. I just think that we need to kind of keep our eyes and our ears open. We need to take everything that we hear from media, and with the big YouTubers, those that are in the clique, if you know what I mean, those that have their little perks. you got to take all of that with a pinch of salt, because we saw one particular YouTuber that got his ass handed to him by Arne Slot, which was amazing. And that will just show you that these are just normal Joe soaps that, you know, yes, they've started, you know, from like doing a YouTube in their bedroom to whatever they're doing now. But at the end of the day, we can't go on what they're all saying. We have to take everything with a pinch of salt. They will tell you what the club wants you to hear. They'll be making excuses. You know, if we didn't sign Yenny or Lenny Henry, you know, there'll be excuses as to why. And that came out fairly quickly with Pierce. So I think we just need to keep, you know, don't go for the juggler on Arne Slot straight away. Give him at least 2 or 3 seasons, in my opinion. But he needs to start now. With that in mind, he has to perform well this season. Has to.
Yeah. So I'm just because you mentioned James Pierce, then I've actually just clicked on Liverpool and the Athletic to see if there's anything that's come out. And they're on about them goggles. It limits the peripheral vision and forces individuals into more visual tracking and use of audio cues. That's the reason behind it.
Look, I mean, you know, if it makes Alisson a better keeper than what he is, and I know Hat is now joking, but I guarantee you, if Alisson becomes better than what he is, brilliant. If Kelleher stays and benefits from this American guy, brilliant. I don't think we're going to be signing Unana because he's a shit keeper, absolute shit, and some of the worst goalkeeping I've ever seen in my life. You know, but I think, you know, we need to keep our
the midfielder who Aston Villa have just signed. No, sorry, Sean, to break you off. I agree. Aston Villa have just signed Onana from Everton for 50 million. Yeah, 100%. Liverpool should have been all over that all day long. Liverpool should have signed him. Yeah, we should have been all over that. But yeah, sorry, Sean, I'll cut you off. Sorry, mate.
Now, something that I've just seen here on a particular channel, Brazil club president confirms Premier Club bid for midfield target. Who's this now? Am I going to have to fucking read down through all of this? Oh, for God's sake. Sorry, it's just one of those clickbaits. But yeah, sorry, Hat. I was wondering because we were talking about goalkeepers and you brought Unanu up, and any opportunity I get to slag Unanu, I've got a song that anytime Unanu messes up, I kind of do that song, Rihanna, Unana fucked up again. So yeah. But yeah, no, that's basically it. We just need to, you know, keep on our. We need to be logical. We need to stop attacking Arne Slot. We knew that, you know, FSG struck gold with Klopp, and Klopp worked within, you know, those restraints. Klopp would have only been the only manager that would have done well under FSG and the restraints they have on him. I don't think any other manager could do it.
No.
Hopefully, I could be wrong about Slot. Hopefully, Slot can pull something off. But he does need financial backing. He does need to bring in the players that he believes are needed to be that kind of final icing on the cake. We shouldn't, you know, sit back over a couple of seasons and kind of gradually bring in the players that are needed, because no other club does that. When we think of it, no other club does that. And that's why, I mean, we could have been a lot more successful under Klopp than we actually were. And that's the frightening thing about it. And it's the upsetting thing about it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I couldn't think of any better way to finish that off, mate, with that. That's, you know, if it said anything, I would have said myself then in regards to that. I guess we'll just take a question here from Gary at the end. How much is the transfer budget? I don't know, mate. How long's a piece of string? We never know with FSG. Last year telling us that we've got no money, and then they spend all that money and then bid 100-odd million for Casado. So God knows, pal. Probably not a lot. If anyone else has got any questions, just fire them in the chat right now. See if me and Sean have got any answers for you.
Hit me with it.
Just give them a couple
I think the transfer. So if we look at the net spend, that's different to the kitty. So if we look at the net spend, you could be looking at maybe 30 million.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because that's in around the average that we would spend. So a net spend of 30 million. So the rest would be generated off the backs of selling players. Yeah. And, I don't know whether we need to sell players because of the amount of homegrown players as opposed to the abroad players. I don't know. But we'll soon find out. Which transfer do you think gonna flop? What do you mean? Like the transfer from last year, a transfer from this year?
All right, okay, let's do it both ways. And if you're on about a transfer from last year, Liverpool related, I think we're probably most likely to see probably Gravenberch maybe out of the ones we signed last year, or possibly even maybe even Endo. Maybe Endo don't get as much game time this year. If you're on about people that have been bought already, I think Shauno was alluding to Lenny Henry a lot. Lenny Henry might be a bit of a flop this year. I would go along with that, to be fair.
I don't think Lenny Henry, Lenny Yoro is he's potential, and there's a difference between potential and then hit the ground running. And I think the danger of someone like Lenny Yoro looking, or his agent looking for guarantees for this player, is he can ask for those guarantees too soon in his career. So he's basically been put in the deep end, and it's either a case of him swimming or drowning.
Yeah, 100%.
I personally think that it would be too much for him. And I'm not just saying this. I would say this if we signed him and I thought that he had a guarantee that he was going to be in the starting 11. I would have had the worry of someone that age, starting off or in the starting 11. I don't think he'd be able for it. And that's always been my concern and worry about young lads thrown in the deep end. So I think the Euro would be probably a flop.
Yeah. I mean, I only got to think about ourselves last year when Kwanzaa started playing for us. Like, I worried me. Do you know what I mean? Like, who's this lad? But he surprised us. In the end.
I said the same thing this time last year about Bradley, and how Bradley, absolutely had me eat my words. So look, it's all opinion at the end of the day, guys. No one is right or wrong, and that's what the channel is about. Voicing your opinion. So that's what I think. Bon 3S32 says, why have we not sold any players?
I don't think any clubs met our required figures. Like, I think if someone paid the 20-25 million for Sepp Vandenberg, I think he'd have gone by now. Who else would you reckon's on? I reckon Reece Williams, Nat Phillips, they're probably on the way out. Kelleher as well. Again, if someone came in with the right amount, he'd be gone. I just think no one's offering the amount of money that Liverpool are after, in all fairness. You got to look back at some of the deals that Edwards did when he was with us. I know he's not in charge now, but he sold some absolute shite for big money, like Jordan Ibe. Not to be, and you know what? I shouldn't really bash him now because he's like, I don't even think he plays like division football now. But he was supposed to be like the next Raheem Sterling who broke through, and he didn't. Out of all of them, Solanke's probably the one that's most likely going to do something. But we've got that clause in the contract when we sold him that when they eventually do move him on, we get like 35-40% of that transfer fee. So win-win there. Brad Smith sold him to Bournemouth for stupid fee. You know, and I think that's what they're trying to do now. I think they're trying to get 24 million for Brewster as well at Sheffield United. Does he still even play at Sheffield United anymore? Like, I couldn't even tell you.
But I think we're also undervaluing some of these players. I mean, Queeveen Kelleher, I mean, I would be looking for a lot more than what they're looking for him. I think there was something about 20 million or something like that, or 25 million. I was like, for a goalkeeper like him, you kidding?
No, I agree with that.
I think he's had a record for the most penalty saved.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, not a hope.
Yeah, and like you said, Bryce is there, and Slot we trust. I do trust Slot. That's all we can do.
I like Ernest Slot. I mean, I know I have a guy that's on one of the groups that I have on Facebook who kind of likes to stir it a bit. All right, Damien, but he was like, "What do you all think about Ernest Slot? You know, when do you think we're all going to decide? Well, right, enough is enough, and whatever." And look, I actually like Ernest Slot. He reminds me, and I keep saying it, as he reminds me of a Dutch Rafa Benitez. Now, hopefully he's, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with Rafa in terms of, you know, tactically minded or otherwise. He was a bit of a cold manager with some of the players, and Stevie G would say, but he was a great manager. Did a nice little number at Chelsea and also did a better number there at Everton. But he does remind me of Rafa. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll soon see. I'm not going to be taking any judgment on a preseason. Not at all.
No. What's this? Rafa had no people. Yeah, that's what we've been hearing lately, that Rafa had no people skills. We've been hearing that over the past couple of days. Well, I've heard it over the past couple of weeks actually from Stephen Warnock. Is that right? It's come out said that. I've heard that all over the place. But yeah. Right then, guys, I think that's it for the show for me. Unless you've got anything else you want to talk about, Shauna. I've ticked everything else I wanted to talk about. I think I'll just repeat for people that may not have caught it early on in the stream is I think Liverpool will sign in Asio. I think that'll happen. I'm not sure about anybody else just yet, but yeah. Other than that, guys, I'll let Shauna plug his SD Designs before we get off. So
SD Designs. SD Designs 2020 on Redbubble. Check it out and check in on Wayne Henley. Fantastic artist, does other stuff other than Liverpool. He's going to send me off a lovely print of Jurgen Klopp, and also JackDesigns.uk. Really good shop. When it was coming up to Klopp leaving the club, he had like football jerseys, and he had kind of trainer tops and stuff like that. They were absolutely amazing, and really put me to shame with my little t-shirt and what have you. But you know, there's fantastic little designs on my shop as well. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, all them links are down in the description, guys. Thanks for joining us. If you have enjoyed it, guys, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll let us know. Well, you won't let us know. It'll let you know when we go live next Monday at 7:00. Every Monday we are here, AKM Live, talking everything about Liverpool. Give the stream a like, guys. Leave us a comment. Let me know what you think about everything we've just discussed. And also, just one last thing as well. There will be chapters in this video. I'm going to do the timestamps and everything like that, so you'll be able to scroll through and find everything that you've maybe missed if you've joined us late in the stream. So that's been me, Adam. This is Shauna over there. And we'll catch you next week, guys, on here, 7:00, AKM Live, episode 11. We'll see you then, guys.